At the beginning of 2020, as the global automotive industry was paralyzed by the COVID-19 pandemic, an unusual pattern emerged in Tesla's purchasing offices. While traditional automakers like Ford, GM, and Toyota were frantically canceling orders for semiconductors and components, anticipating catastrophic drops in sales, Elon Musk's team kept their production forecasts unchanged. This decision, considered risky at the time, would prove to be a game-changer. While competitors struggled to rebuild dismantled supply chains 2 years later, Tesla reaped the rewards of keeping suppliers engaged. One of the first signs that its approach to supplier relations would rewrite the industry's rules. The strategy wasn't just about inventory. In 2022, customers waiting for delivery of their Model Y in the United States began receiving unusual emails. Tesla offered to deliver vehicles without USB-C ports or Bluetooth modules, with a promise to install them later. While analysts predicted backlash, most buyers accepted. The transparency was even praised by many. This flexibility stood in stark contrast to the stance of traditional automakers, where the mere idea of shipping an incomplete car would be considered heresy. The key was in the perception of value. Tesla customers prioritized the quick delivery of cutting-edge technology, even with minor temporary concessions. Behind the scenes, engineers at the Fremont plant were working at a fast pace to redesign components. When the shortage of a specific chip halted production lines at Rivian and Lucid, Tesla rewrote its software within weeks to use alternative, available semiconductors. This rapid adaptability, impossible for most competitors, stemmed from a strategic choice. Tesla develops both hardware and software in-house, breaking away from the traditional model of full outsourcing to first-tier suppliers. While a conventional automaker would take months just to negotiate changes with partners, Tesla implemented solutions before the market even noticed the problem. This vertical integration extends all the way to raw materials. In 2023, while Toyota executives were still debating how to secure lithium supplies, Tesla was already signing direct contracts with mines in Australia and refineries in Texas. The company even developed proprietary processes for battery recycling, creating a closed ecosystem that reduces dependence on external suppliers. This vertical integration, combined with direct and often exclusive relationships with key suppliers, allows Tesla to control costs and timelines in ways unusual for the industry. The effects of this strategy became palpable in pricing. Between 2021 and 2023, Tesla adjusted its vehicle prices 17 times, with increases reaching 20% on some models. While this sparked outrage among buyers of established brands, Tesla fans seemed willing to pay the premium. Average wait lists remained above 6 months. The willingness to pass costs directly to consumers, avoiding margin compression, contrasted with the cautious approach of traditional competitors who preferred to reduce production rather than risk sharp price hikes. Operational simplicity also plays a crucial role. With only 4 models in production, S3, XY, and few trim variations, Tesla keeps a lean catalog compared to the dozens of options offered by Honda or BMW. This standardization drastically reduces supply chain complexity. Where a traditional supplier has to manage 50 variations of the same component for different models and markets, Tesla's partners work with just a few standardized versions. The result is higher efficiency, lower inventory, and the ability to reallocate components between production lines as needed. But this aggressive approach has its critics. In 2024, second-tier suppliers complained to Reuters about excessive pressure to reduce delivery times, claiming that Tesla prioritizes speed over long-term relationships. Some analysts question whether the model is sustainable as the company scales up to produce 5 million vehicles a year. The controversial removal of features like radar sensors and lumbar support for front passengers also sparked debates about trade-offs between innovation and quality. The traditional industry's response began to emerge in 2025. Ford, in its latest annual report, detailed plans to establish direct joint ventures with mining companies, a move clearly inspired by Tesla. Volkswagen accelerated investments in in-house software, while GM announced a radical simplification of its ICE models ahead of a full transition to electric. Even Toyota, known for its conservatism, is testing direct sales with limited configuration options in select markets. This convergence of strategies suggests that the Tesla model is becoming the new paradigm for the automotive industry in the electric era. The ability to adapt quickly, verticalized control, and direct relationships with suppliers have proven to be crucial competitive advantages in a world of fragile supply chains and accelerated technological change. However, lasting success will depend on balance. How long will consumers continue to tolerate incomplete vehicles or volatile prices? How can Tesla maintain startup agility while becoming a global industrial giant? The case of batteries illustrates this dilemma. By developing its own cells, the 4680s, and controlling the entire production chain, from nickel to the final module, Tesla achieved cost reductions that left competitors at a disadvantage. On the other hand, any failure in this complex system, such as the 2024 recall due to lithium impurities, exposes the company to greater operational risks than competitors who diversify their suppliers. The future will bring new tests. As traditional automakers accelerate their electric transition, using strategic alliances and joint ventures to compensate for lack of verticalization, Tesla will need to prove that its unique model can scale globally without losing its innovative edge. The next frontier, Level 4 autonomous cars, may be the watershed moment. It requires even deeper integration between hardware, software, and sensors, an area where Tesla's vertical approach gives it a theoretical advantage. Meanwhile, the most lasting legacy may be cultural. By demonstrating that consumers accept new paradigms, from cars with mutable specs to dynamic pricing, Tesla has forced the entire industry to rethink decades-old assumptions. The result, ironically, is that its most controversial practices are being adopted, albeit discreetly, by those who once criticized them. The silent revolution in supplier-automaker relations, started in the purchasing offices of Fremont, is redefining not just how cars are made, but how the entire industry manages risk, innovation, and customer relationships in the age of accelerated disruption.